Chair recognizes Mr. Higgins from Louisiana for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just to clarify for Americans watching, we have the Inspector General present on our panel for the Department of Defense, Inspector General for the Department of State, Inspector General for the U.S. Agency for International Development, commonly referred to as USAID, and the Inspector General for the Afghanistan reconstruction. So, ladies and gentlemen, I ask you collectively, just yes or no down the line. Mrs. Stork, we'll begin with you. Have any of you in your duties, in your respective investigations, which we very much appreciate you conducting, and it's an important role that you play for Congress and thus for the nation that we sworn to serve. Have any of you encountered any obstacles or limitations from the executive branch that you would categorize as obstruction?
I'm not aware of any such issues for the DoD OIGs.
That would be no? You haven't
That's a no.
encountered? Yes, yes, sir.
No for state OIG.
No, for USAID, we do not have any access issues right now.
Yes, and I'm happy to give you a list.
Well, we probably have the same list, but I look forward to speaking with you further about that.
I'm happy to provide it to the full committee, the whole list, in more detail.
Would you do that, sir?
Absolutely.
I'll call upon you to do that. Could we get a time frame that we would receive that?
I can give it to you in the next 24 hours.
Thank you, sir. We expect to have it. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to ask you about the bombing. I understand that this is not perhaps specifically in your purview, but America needs to know what exactly happened and why we allowed this terrorist bomber to kill these 13 Americans and 170 Afghans and horribly maim many others when according to testimony that Congress has received, this bomber had been identified. Test runs of bombings had been conducted in the days prior to the bombing. Our intel guys had identified what the bomber looked like. And according to the testimony of Sergeant Vargas Andrews, a 25-year-old sniper was blown up that day. He arrived August 16th at his post. On August the 22nd, they were advised an IED probe, a practice run by the Taliban had been performed near the airport there near the gate where he was deployed. Days later, they received word to be on the lookout for 2 specific vehicles. These are all signs of intelligence that had been harvested from the field. And around 2 a.m. on August 26th, the intel guys advised his sniper nest that the suicide bomber in the vicinity had been identified. He was described as clean-shaven, brown dress wearer, black vest, traveling with a companion. This sniper asked the intel guys, why wasn't he apprehended if we had a full description of him? The intel guys said they didn't have authorization to pick him up. Later, the man was spotted by this sniper from noon to 1 p.m. That he was in the crowd. They had him in their sights. He was behaving in manners that indicated, according to their training, he was about to activate his vest. He was being guided and coached by an older Islamic jihadist man there. It was very serious. They advised their chain of command. Said, please come and look at what we've got. We've got this guy. Their chain of command came to the nest and told them that they did not have green light to shoot the guy and they were not going to arrest him. Why? Quote, leadership did not have the engagement authority. Do not engage. We had identified the bomber. Our intel guys did their work. The Biden administration would not authorize the shooting nor the arrest of the bomber that killed these 13 Americans and 170 of our Afghan allies and wounded and maimed many, many others. Why? I asked the Inspector Generals, do you have an answer? Can you provide that answer in writing to our committee over the course of the next several days. Sir?
So, thank you for the question. As I testified in my opening statement, following the withdrawal, we pivoted our work at DOD-OIG to deal with some emergent issues.
In the interest of time, my time has expired. Do you have data regarding?
Well, what I was going to say is we've not done oversight work on that now, but as I testified, we did obtain a copy of the administration's after action, and we're actively reviewing that now. And if there's additional oversight work
I read
to
it.
do,
It's
we'll do it.
whitewashed. Inspector Generals, if you do have data, my time has expired. If you do have data regarding the bombing attack and the murder of American citizens at the gate in Afghanistan, we ask you to please provide your observations in writing to this committee. Mr. Chairman, I yield.